Hi, I'm Isabella Alon. We're here at South by Southwest, Austin's Film, Music, and Tech Coverage Conference, and I'm here with Skateland.
Hi.
Hello, a rising indie pop artist who combines a lot of amazing synth sounds and arpeggiated movements to kind of create this dreamlike quality. Welcome to Artist Talks.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I think your sound is quite interesting. You're able to kind of create this cinematic experience, at least as a listener, that's how I feel when I listen to your music. And I kind of want to dive into you and how you kind of create your music. You have a lot of shimmering synths that kind of come in and out. How do you songwrite? Like, what is that process for you? Is there a specific instrument that you first lay down and then kind of build upon that?
Yeah, so I'm from Las Vegas, and
Hmm.
so I grew up um, doing a lot of programming and like house music and like
Hmm.
digital kind of stuff. So I think for me, like that never went away. I always start like on a synth or like a keyboard,
Hmm.
and I'll program like a little beat, and I like to make little like 10 or 15-second like soundscapes,
Hmm.
and then I'll kind of just loop those and see what kind of speaks to me, and then I'll
Yeah,
write words over that. But I always start with the shimmery stuff first, and then put
yeah.
everything after.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. And one of your title songs, Joyce Howell, you were inspired by a name you found in an art gallery, which I kind of think it's sort of brings in the concept of like the art of noticing. And do you practice that practice like frequently and get inspired by like languages or titles and words?
I do. I think when you're trying to make music, just listening to music over and over again all day, like that doesn't really help me, like
Hmm.
to inspire me, So I go to a lot of galleries. I
That's
see
really
a lot of
cool.
movies, like I read a lot of books because I feel like that's where I kind of draw inspiration
Hmm.
from. And it helps like when I'm writing or when I'm looking for like song titles. So yeah, Joyce Howell, she's a great local painter here.
Yeah.
And I went to the Wally Workman Gallery, which is like in downtown Austin. And I just really liked her work and I liked the name. And so when I was writing that song, like I just remembered, I was like, I'd always want to put that name like in a
In the
song, I
title.
think, yeah, or in a title or
That's
something.
really
So
cool.
yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. And do you tend to write from personal experiences or do you like to kind of create a fantasy world similar to like when you notice things?
Yeah, I think it's like 50-50 for me. I'm
Mm,
trying to write less about personal experiences, I
yeah.
think, um, and do more like fictional stuff. But I think when I first started, like when you're writing songs, like you want to talk about like what you're dealing with and like what you're going through. So it was
Mhm.
very personal early, but I think now I'm trying to get my life together. So I'm doing more like fantasy stuff.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
And it's nice to get lost in a world that is kind of separate of your own,
yeah, yeah. It's
which is
cool.
really cool. And you kind of have this unique habit to like you said you go to galleries or like you like to write in non-traditional places, whether that's like a local bar or a porch. Do you ever get inspired by the rhythm of the places? Like if you're in a really busy bar, does that up-tempo rhythm of movements kind of maybe translate within your music?
It really does. I think I'm working on a new project right now, and it's crazy you said that because um, I think of like places I've been or like spaces that I'm in when I'm like
Yeah.
writing the song.
Hmm.
And this, I'm gonna put out a single soon. And I'm
It's
like, yeah,
exciting.
this feels like, I was telling someone I was working with, I was like, yeah, to me, this song feels like you're out at the club
Hmm.
and like, I can like feel the people like bouncing like with the rhythm,
Yeah.
and then like at a certain point in the song, like it kind of mellows out, and I'm like, yeah, this is when you like take a break to like go outside and like smoke a cigarette or something. Like
That's
like I,
super
I see
cool.
that kind of stuff like when I'm writing these songs. So yeah, I think definitely like being in places and spaces, like I think of that when I'm making stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
those like visual scenes and elements like completely move with the song, which
yeah,
is really cool.
yeah, yeah. It helps to see it. I think, especially when you're like finishing the song.
Yeah.
I think if I can see in my head like where this would play or like what the almost like a movie kinda, like, what am
Yeah.
I looking at that helps me to, like, finish and nail, like, the vibe of the song.
That's really cool. And
Yeah,
like I know that you also direct your own music
I
videos. So
do.
does that kind of are those scenes of the places that you're in kind of translate into your music videos or are you kind of creating new worlds?
100%, like, I think because I direct my own stuff and I'm a
Hmm.
big, like, film nerd, like, I hang out with a lot of my friends, like, are in filmmaking and they're, like, directors
That's
and
amazing.
screenwriters and stuff, and I'm, like, the one, like, music
You're the music
person
kid.
in our little crew.
Yeah.
So I think we just watch a ton of movies, and I always think about, like, what are people gonna be seeing, like, when I
Hmm.
make the song? Because 'cause I'm already thinking about, like, what the video is going to be or like what
Yeah.
the visualizer is going to be. So I think that definitely plays a big part in it for sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And are you kind of creating, Pinterest boards before, and like is it a scene to scene, or when you kind of shoot like day of show there's like you kind of move with the rhythm and what feels right?
I'm a big mood board
Yeah.
person, I think, when I'm writing songs, and especially when I'm making like a project and I,
Mhm.
I have like the title of the project, I'll like map out all the songs and I'm big into like saving a bunch of cool stuff that I see
Yeah.
on Instagram and I'll go back and like take a screenshot of it and like put it on a board. So that helps like when I'm mapping out the videos. But I think like day of shoot, um, we always have like this grand plan, like we're gonna do this, this, and this, but we
Yeah.
always end up just like kind of vibing and winging it. It always turns out good. So
And that's better
yeah,
too, feeding off of that
yeah,
environment too,
yeah,
which is really cool. And I know that you said you're like inspired by a lot of films, and I know that even your name, Skateland, kind of comes. Well, you like the aspect of it being a little bit like the ambiguity of it,
yeah, yeah,
and you can, I know that you're really into
yeah.
fashion. So is that something that you're hoping to move into also in the near future?
Yeah, I think so. It's crazy. So I love like I'm like an amateur graphic designer, I think. Like, but I designed like a shirt for like this upcoming run of shows that we have,
Yeah,
and people have really been rocking with it. And I'm like, I
that's
think I'm gonna
cool.
like start like print like making shirts, like
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know if it'll be under Skateland or
Mhm.
whatever, but that's something I definitely want to get into is like
Yeah.
um doing clothes.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And it's important to extend your music to not just music, like to bring that, your brand identity within Skateland,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
really cool.
That's what I imagined Skateland being like when I started.
Yeah.
I wanted people to kind of be confused about like what it
What it
is.
is all the
Like,
way.
is it like a brand or is it a
It's
band
all
or
of
yeah, yeah?
it's whatever you
Because
want it to
it's
be.
it's kind of all of it. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
amazing. Well, so I know that you just finished Sips and Sounds opening for that yesterday.
yeah.
How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah?
It was our first show of the year. I went on a big tour in November,
Mhm.
and I kind of been just resting and working on new music since then. So that was the first time we got to get out and like have that adrenaline of like
Yeah.
playing in front of people again and like
Yeah. And that was a big show
yeah,
too.
it was a huge crowd. I'm a big Christina Aguilera fan,
Oh,
so to just like
that's pretty sick
be on the
too.
poster with Christina
Mhm.
Aguilera was crazy.
So she like
Um,
already knows you then. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? She practically
If
like
you're
you're
watching
best
this,
friends.
we're besties. No, it was great. It was so fun.
That's cool.
And I
Yeah.
think it was cool like being like a hometown artist to play a festival like that because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people came out to support. So um, we felt super loved. It was a great time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, for all the future artists that want to pursue the career that you are, artist to artist, what piece of advice do you want to give them?
Ooh, I think just don't doubt yourself. If you have a vision, like you got to stick with it because I think it's easy to get swayed by like trends and
Hmm.
what's popular. But I think if you want to have like a lasting career, like do the thing that you do well and like stick to that. And if 10 people are listening right now, like you just got to be patient. Like keep
Yeah,
honing your craft, and eventually, like the audience that's meant for the kind of music that you make and like your art, they'll find you.
they will.
You just gotta wait it out a little bit.
I agree. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Skateland, everybody. And if you want to follow along for more artist to artist talks, click right down below.